What's going on, everybody? How you doing? I wanted to explain this next video that I'm going to put out, and this is a video from the past. This is a video of a band that I was in for one long tour and then one show. The one long tour was in 1990, and the band was the Weirdos. The Shrinky Dix, we were just still the Shrinky Dix, and Mark decided to not be in the band for a little while, and so I remember Stan, Rodney, and myself were like, what are we going to do? I somehow luckily lucked out and answered an ad in Music Connection magazine and got this gig playing for the Weirdos. It was a crazy story. I'm going to do a detailed thing about it, but we did 6 weeks supporting the Circle Jerks on their 10th anniversary tour, and it was night after night after night after night. It was amazing. I learned these bass lines, and it was a lot of fun. And we played the video was from a club called the City Gardens in New Jersey. It was September 30th, 1990, we played this show. And the video is a little crazy looking. The audio doesn't come in for a while, but I'm going to post the whole video. And then I'm going to chop it up into individual songs that will be online too on this channel. But I really wanted to share some of my past. This was when we were the Shrinky Dix. We literally, we're just like a band playing parties and playing gigs and wherever we could, whatever we could get. And it was, at the time, Mark decided he didn't want to be in the band anymore, so it left Rodney, myself, and Stan kind of like a little bit without a rudder, and we were just like, what are we going to do? And so luckily I answered that ad in Music Connection, and I got the gig, and I went on this tour. The one show was really, really cool. It was a New Year's Eve show opening for the Cramps and the Red Hot Chili Peppers in San Francisco. It was a Bill Graham Presents show, and that was amazing to be the Weirdos, the Cramps, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So it was a really fun part of my life where I felt like it was all just going to go off script, and we really loved our band, and the Shrinky Dix was like what we really wanted to do. But so this thing happened, and I'm just so grateful that it happened. The last show of the tour at UCLA, we played in a place called Ackerman Ballroom, and I remember everybody was there. My whole family, my friends, Rodney, Stan, and Mark, and I saw them. And after the show, I think that Mark, I think the fire was lit again, and we actually kind of started not long after that. Anyways, I kind of feel like this one tour that happened sort of was a catalyst for the band getting back together, for the Shrinky Dix to get back together and eventually become Sugar Ray. Not taking all the credit, of course not, because it maybe totally would have happened on its own, but when Mark came and saw me playing and opening, we actually opened for Fish. It was the Weirdos, Fishbone, and the Circle Jerks at the last show on the tour at UCLA. And it was cool. I remember I did a stage dive into the sea of people, and I knew they were there. I literally did the stage dive so they could see me having fun. It wasn't for me being in the Weirdos. I knew it was a temporary gig. It was because I wanted to get the Shrinky Dix back together and do our thing. So I had a great time on the tour. Nonetheless, I learned so much. And some of my lessons that I'm going to teach on this channel come from my experience on that tour, from guys like Keith Morris and Keith Clark and Zander Schloss and Greg Hetson and all these amazing people that kind of taught me a lot when I was young. I was called like the rookie on this, like, hey, the rookie. Where Keith Morris kept calling me that, because I was young and I did some stupid stuff anyways, but it was fun, And so that's why I'm making this video, to explain what this video is that I'm putting up from a long time ago. That's like a square, standard definition. It looks funny, but it rocks, and the songs are really simple, and they're churning, and they're just anyway. So that's what this video is going to be that you're going to see next. It's me playing when I was I'm in my 20s or something. I was very young. You'll see. It was just a great memory for me to have, because I got to tour. When I came back, they're like, dude, what was it like? It was a gnarly 6-week tour when we had never played. The only thing we'd ever done is maybe gone out of state and done one show in Arizona, some party at the University of Arizona, or maybe it's Arizona State. And that was it for touring, like go to do one show. This was a heavy, almost 5 nights a week, 6-week tour supporting, literally heroes of mine and ours, the Circle Jerks. So I will give you one story. I remember there was a couple gigs that they did that Zander stood in and played. One gig was at a place called Club Lingerie, and I'll never forget, Flea was a big fan of the band, and he was just good friends with everybody in the band. John Dix, Nickey, and Zander. And after the show at the Club Lingerie, I never forget this. This was so cool that he did this. Flea is so generous and such a fan of them that after the gig, I mean, he obviously premeditated this and planned this. Maybe it was from another gig that he was impressed by Dix, but he loved Dix. And he literally, after the gig, it's over. And I went there to go hang out and check it out too. I knew I was going to be the touring bass player, but I just went to go hang and see, hang with everybody. And we're all standing around, and Flea walks up to Dix and goes, here. He bought him like an American-made, I don't know if it's a standard, but Les Paul, like a brand new Gibson Les Paul. Just goes, Dix, I just love your guitar playing. Here's a gift. How cool is that, right? That was amazing. Nobody saw that, nobody noticed that, but this guy went out of his way to just buy an amazing gift for Dix Denney from the Weirdos. So a cool little story from that night. And then, obviously it was a little bit later, we actually went on tour, and there's so many, I got to tell some really fun stories about people saying things to me and things that happened that I learned from so much. So this is not a short video anymore, it's a long video, but that's what this video is going to be that I'm posting next. If you're still watching, you're the best. I love you. Leave me a comment that tells me that you watched this whole thing, because I don't know if I'm going to believe you. But it's a real piece of my past and a piece of who I am as a musician and as a bass player to have been able to have gotten this gig, and them trusted me, and I went on this big long tour when I was really young and fresh-faced. So thank you to everybody in the Weirdos, everybody in the Circle Jerks, and everybody on that tour, including Louie, who was our driver and tech on stage. And he wound up being, I think he's been the Red Hot Chili Peppers tour manager for like 20 years or something. So I hope you enjoy this old video, and that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.